expensive. We're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor where the bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the party's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. She walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she spent the sound of bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 114 of Fired Up. I am pumped up. We got Mitch Golf Mania going on. I'm excited. We'll talk about it. I'm gonna try that. It's gonna work. Mitch Golf Mania rolls right off the tongue. I'm Mike Giletto. Joining me as always, Dom Console. Dom, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on? So talking about the Mitch Mania and trying to start that. How long did I and then I think you were on board with the pro Roth calling him the Machine?
Machine.
We're the only two people in the city that ever called him that. So
no, but I mean it kind of fit, and
yeah,
unfortunately, you know.
Do you know where it came from?
Work out, but the Machine. Well, I mean the Machine makes sense because he just plays all the time. He never breaks.
Well, yeah. Well, that was part of it. But the other part is the Bert Kreischer. Do you know who Bert Kreischer is?
Yeah, comedian.
The thing, what got him to blow up was his bit, The Machine. He went to Russia and joined the Russian mafia in college.
Really?
They called him The Machine.
Really?
Yeah,
that's where it started, huh?
It's a very, very real bit. It's a very, very real.
To check that out.
There's a girl on Facebook when it blew up that said I actually went to college with him and I was on this trip. This is all very real.
Really?
Yeah.
So I think Bert Kreischer's funny as shit.
Yeah, he's very funny. But that's where that came from because he's Russian and he played like you said, he was a machine. So
didn't they basically call Ivan Drago a machine? I don't know if they actually used that term, but he was basically
probably.
A machine.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they did at one point.
If it dies, he dies.
Exactly. I must break you. First, gotta tell
imagine
everybody.
Imagine going to Russia on Christmas to fight a Russian.
Yeah, I know, right? It's cold.
Screw that.
It's go up to Siberia. That doesn't sound like a good time. Before we get into everything tonight, gotta tell everybody about our newest sponsor. First impressions matter. There are no two ways about it or around it. Dom, question for you. What's the first thing that someone notices about you? The first thing somebody notices about you when you meet somebody for the first time. What's the first thing they notice about you that you think?
My beautiful eyes. Now,
listen. I mean, maybe
I'm your facial hair, your the top of your head. I don't know.
In most cases, it's your face, and more importantly, your skin. If you aren't already, it's time to put your best face forward. How do you do that? By adding in a skincare routine. And you know what? It's not hard. You just don't have the right tools until now. Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging, Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day. Use our exclusive code FIREDUP at calderalab.com to enjoy 20% off their best products. Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and The Regimen leads off their product lineup, a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. The skincare world is heavily female-driven and has long been the wild, wild west for men. Whether men can't find the right brand or simply lack knowledge and understanding of it, skincare is something that requires attention. Luckily, men's skincare has never been easier with Caldera Lab and The Regimen. Inside this bundle, you'll find your skincare dream team, the clean slate, the base layer, and the good. The clean slate starts and ends your day. The face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. The base layer is your daily moisturizer that hydrates your skin and absorbs it fast, leaving you with a matte finish so that you can start your day confidently. The good is your go-to at night before bed and clinically proven a multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. In every drop of this serum, there are 3.4 million antioxidant units protecting your skin. Want to know what that means? Well, I have no clue, but that must be a good thing, right? I'm assuming here. They even have this eye serum called the Icon. I like that name. It's very clever. The Icon. It addresses the three most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. Caldera Lab is made with top tier ingredients and is a great addition to your daily routine. Takes less than a minute. Morning and night, and is here to reduce your wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. Get 20% off with our code Phired Up at CalderaLab.com. That's 20% off at CalderaLab.com by using our code Phired Up. Jump into skin and first impression royalty with Caldera Lab. So we're excited to be partnered with Caldera
The
Lab.
funniest thing about this is I was just telling my wife like earlier this week or last week that I really need to start like with a skincare routine, and
Perfect timing.
perfect. It doesn't get and it just happened naturally. So it doesn't get any better than that.
I don't know what I did here. Hold on. Sorry to stall the show.
You're good.
My wife has this Cricut machine, and underneath my desk there's a bunch of like supplies for it, and I need them and knock them all
Yeah.
over. So we're good.
Believe me, I know. My wife has one too. So
So yeah, so let's get into. Listen, I'm fired up right now.
well, really quick.
Yeah,
Before
go
we
for
get
it.
to sports, I wanted to bring something up really quick that
Okay.
kind of ties into sports a little bit.
All right.
Have you seen this new thing? These new like public porta potty things that are like supposedly coming to Philly.
No, in public port. No, I have not.
Like they're not porta potties like the plastic or like the I guess they're plastic, right? Porta potties like the
yeah.
actual outside of
Yeah,
them.
I would say yeah.
So
hard
they're
plastic, I
like
would say,
there's
yeah.
like these they kind of look like metal grates now, like these big metal grates. They're probably like 10 feet tall and like I don't know, maybe like 7 feet wide. And you just open the door and you go in and you do. That's like they're coming to Philly, like they're putting them all over the city, right?
Okay.
So the city put out a poll. It's right now. It's called the Potty Poll, to
Okay.
name its new public bathrooms. And these ideas that I just wanted to share these ideas and just get your opinion on them.
Okay, I like it.
So the first one, there's about like 10 or 12 years. So the Porta John,
Okay,
the
makes sense.
Philly John, Johnny on the spot, Wooder Closet, like WOODER.
Water closet. Okay.
Yeah. Whiz Wit. We
You know what? That's clever. I like that.
ready? We WE the people.
We.
I don't know what this kite and pee. I don't know what that means. I guess because the kite from Ben Franklin. I don't know.
Yeah, I
The
don't-
Constitutional.
Okay, I like that.
Leave turds, go birds.
Okay.
And then the last one, which I think should win, the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that's like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, no, that's solid. I don't. There's a lot of good choices there.
Yeah.
I like them. I like a lot.
I do like We the People. I like I do obviously Leave Turds Go Birds, the Dallas Cowboys, the Constitutional is good too.
The Constitutional's good. The first one you said I thought was pretty good.
Porta John,
Porta John, yeah.
yeah.
That was some Whiz
Well,
Wit. I thought
my
was
wife,
funny too.
I
Whiz Wit,
was in the
like.
car. Yeah, I was in the car, and my wife was like reading this to me. I'm like, oh, I was like, you gotta send this to me. I gotta say this on the show tonight.
Yeah, no, I like that. And where is this? This is coming to the stadiums?
No, the city. Like they're putting them all around Center City.
Oh, I see.
yeah. They're like public restrooms.
What's the point? Are they like supposed to be cleaner than like a regular porta, or is it just a
I don't
is it just your good old standard porta potty? They're just metal instead of plastic.
Yeah, here, you might be able to kind of like see. It's like no,
Can't see shit. No.
it's just like this like round like metal like I said, it's like 10 feet tall, maybe 7 feet wide. They're just like they look like it, it kind of looks like a when if you go to a department store and like the changing room,
Okay.
like kind of like that size, like just like
I
a
see.
changing room size.
I see. I'm trying to look it up.
It looks like a bomb shelter. That's really what it looks like.
I see. Okay. I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Good for. I mean, instead of just having people taking shits on the sidewalk, it has somewhere for them to do their business. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I mean, just give it 24 hours. They're all going to be destroyed.
Sure of it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know how to transition out of that. But listen, for a while it
Sports.
seems like the Flyers were in the shitter. Now that is a great
There you go.
transition. And now things are looking up. I'm all I'm all aboard the Flyers train. They can do no wrong right now. For like right this moment. Now listen, I'm sure I'll complain about them, next year or whatever they do from here on out. Like I'm sure I'll bitch at some point. But right now, all is well
Yeah, but,
with me and the Philadelphia Flyers.
Do you think you will? Because at this point, they're being transparent as transparent as they can be, and they're telling you we're it's rebuilt. Like this, it's I've been saying on the show, man. Like they could go 0-82 and everything's fine. Like at least they're committed and they're telling people like this is we're starting over here. So I think I said on the show last week, a couple weeks ago, I listened to Keith Jones on the radio and like he sold me. He sold me.
Yeah, and listen, I think they had a damn near perfect draft. Now, listen, I'm not going to tell you about these 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th round guys they got because who knows about any of these guys?
Right.
Like they're just crapshoots, right? But the fact that at 7 overall you get, by all accounts, a generational talent. We've been talking about this elite level talent that the Flyers have been missing. They need an elite player. They need a game breaker. And, whether tanking's the right way to go about it, they didn't do that. They hired John Tortorella. Obviously, Fletcher did, but they hired John Tortorella to not tank, to try to build.
And they won games at the end of the year.
They won games at the end of the year. It's more important to build a culture, and the hockey gods rewarded that in one way or another by letting Mitchkov fall to 7. The Flyers take him at 7, which I didn't think they had the balls to do, but they did it. And it couldn't have worked any perfect for 1 through 7 for the Flyers.
And not only did they get lucky that he fell to 7, but like they got lucky enough to where because it's somebody like me, kind of on the outside a little bit, but like it kind of seemed like he was only willing to go to certain places, and
It seems like that, yeah.
thankfully, this was one of them. Like Philly was one of them. So,
which is surprising for a Russian to want to come here. Like, did nobody show him tapes in 1976?
Well, like that's what I'm like. Maybe he's that type of guy that his agent or his father, whoever it was, like told him, in '76, like this happened, like with Russian and the Flyers, and maybe he's just that guy that's like, wow, I love that. Like,
maybe.
So he kind of seems like I wouldn't be surprised in the things I've seen from him. So like
it's possible, but I mean, yeah, it seems like he wanted to go to a hockey market. Like,
right.
I don't think he wanted to go to Arizona, so I don't think like that would have worked out. Didn't want to go to like a San Jose probably. The only team I thought had a chance to take him before the Flyers was Montreal, and Montreal decided to go with the defenseman that. I mean, I feel bad for David Reinbacher, the guy that the Canadians took, because he's getting like hate mail. Like, he just got drafted into the NHL as his dream, and he's getting hate mail.
Pick, yeah,
he's getting hate mail from the Montreal Canadiens fan base because they didn't draft Matvei Michkov. But yeah, I mean, listen. Obviously, there's risk there with the Russian and Ukraine thing, and he's got a contract, and he probably won't come over here until 2026. But it's worth it. It's worth it. And it kind of like works perfectly with their timeline too. Like lose for 2 years. Like now you have a timeline. Before it was like, lose and when we get good, we get good. Now you have a timeline. Get things right, and 2026, that's your window to start competing.
Right. I also think like the Cutter Gauthier thing too, like it's probably better that he doesn't come up. And we've talked about this. Like it's probably better for him even more now to not come this year and stay in college for another year. Get another year. Bigger, faster, stronger, better.
Yeah.
And this year he might play on the third line, just like if Mitchkov came this year. Like it gives them a couple years to really get bigger, faster, stronger, and better, so that by the time they both get here, they're top guys.
Right. Exactly.
So
yeah, I mean,
do you really think it'll be 2026?
I don't know. It's by all accounts, like it seemed like he wants to come over as soon as possible. Like that's just what he's been saying. It's a matter of like the contract and if they're able to somehow, end that sooner.
Do you see what the KHL? That's the league, right? In Russia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you see what they tweeted?
Is that like not so fast or something like that?
Yeah,
The-
he was getting out of the box and he went back in.
Yup.
Is that some?
They're having fun. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to have fun in Russia, but
Right,
apparently you can.
Well, Bert Kreischer was in the Russian mafia, so
That's true. That's a good point. But I mean, the one thing I will say is because I've been saying it for a while that like, or since they drafted him, like, oh, you're Comcast, pay the KHL team, St. Petersburg or wherever the fuck he's at, but pay them as much money as they need to buy out the contract. From what I've read, they're not allowed to do that.
right.
Once when Russia invaded Ukraine, the NHL basically cut ties with the KHL and ended their agreement, essentially. So you used to be able to do it. Teams used to be able to buy out the contracts. You can't anymore.
So how could he hypothetically come over before his contract's ended?
He has to buy himself out of the contract.
Okay.
So it comes out of his
Well, at
pocket.
that point, the Flyers could say like,
They're technically not allowed. If the league finds out about it, they'll get fined draft picks and they'll get fined and things like that.
Might be
If you're
worth
ready, if you're ready for the punishment and the fines that come along with it,
no, I know.
then go for it. But it's not a team last year I think got in trouble with it, or fairly recently got in trouble for it.
Right.
But yeah, but from what I hear, he would have to buy himself out. And at 18 years old, I mean, yeah, you put money forward and you probably get. I don't know what his contract's like over there, but if you're in the NHL for 6 months, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
I imagine you're making more on your entry level deal over here than he's making over there. If I had to guess. So, yeah, I mean, it might make sense, but like, it sounds like he wants to come over though. He keeps saying soon.
Right. So, I guess aside from the contract issue and the Russia issue, does his size concern you at all?
No, not really.
I guess mostly because like could you view him as a top 10 player in the league in his prime? Like, could he be that good?
Yeah.
Okay, so my only thing is like if you look at the top 10 players in the league, McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews, Barkov, Kachuk, McKinnon, Ovechkin. Only like I can only think of like Crosby being somebody who's like 6 foot. Like he's like the only guy that's like 6 foot that is a top 10 player in the league. So I was just curious. I didn't know. You know.
No, that is fair. Hold on, I'm trying to find because I don't have the stats pulled up in front of me. I was gonna grab them, but it would take me too long. But there, with some of these stats that he's put up in the KHL, you could argue that Michkov is the best Russian prospect of all time.
Okay.
So like he's 18 years old. So at the same age, he's got, I think he averaged like 0.67 points per game in the KHL at age 18. It's the best. That's the best production in an 18-year-old season in the KHL. Second was Ovechkin with like 0.4 points a game.
Right.
That's pretty. And then the third person was like 0.3 or 0.2 points a game. Like that's far better production than anybody in his peers. Than any of his peers. Listen, I'm not gonna say that he's gonna be the next Alex Ovechkin because Alex Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer in the history of the
Alex
sport.
Ovechkin, yeah.
Yeah, he's the best goal scorer ever, and so I'm not gonna put him on that pedestal yet. But there's a damn good argument to be made that he's the best Russian prospect ever.
Okay. I hope obviously I hope he's great. I mean, I hope it all works out. And something I always like about when I see like these young kids or like some of my favorite players is like he's a guy that wears an A on his chest, right? I think so. You always kind of like to see that stuff. I don't know. I'm just hoping if he's like this top 10 player in 10 years or 5 years,
I think he could be.
Yeah. That it's just not size just isn't going to be the issue.
And he's not like short. I think he's 5'10". He's not like 5'7", right? Like I think he's 5'10", 5'11", something like that. Like it's small for it's smaller than you want to be. You want to be 6 foot 6'1", but he's still I think he's special. Like he's got an incredible shot and he's got incredible hands. I think he's going to be great. I really do. And again, it's going to take him a couple years to see him.
Right.
But I might have to get like a KHL subscription now, so I can watch them. I can watch them at Michkov.
Yeah, I and just going back to the timeline thing too. Like again, you have Cutter in college, and then you have this kid in Russia, and you could be bad next year and get another top 10, top 5 pick.
Macklin Celebrini.
All right, well, we're putting it in now. I see the number 1 pick next year. Or?
He's projected. Like I don't really know what his
They're
ceiling
going
is.
to be that bad to have the number 1 pick next year.
I think they're going to be pretty bad. Like
I think they have good young players like Cates and Tippett and like those guys that are going to like they're not going to make the playoffs, but like they're going to probably be closer to 10 than 1.
I don't know. I still think they're gonna those players are good, but I still think they're gonna struggle to score goals every night. Like I think I don't know. Like and again, you don't have to be dead last to win the lottery. Look at Chicago this year; they finished like 3rd or 4th, and they jumped up, for the lottery. So like, but I think it finished. I think they're like a bottom. I think they're a bottom 5 team though. I do.
Yeah, I guess.
But.
Sorry, my cat's making noises.
Yeah, I can tell. She's real excited about Matvey Michkov.
Yeah. she's excited about that, and she's excited about to watch Otani. So.
Otani, yeah. There's another guy that's never going to do anything. I hate the Angels so much. Love Otani. He's a hell of a talent, but that organization sucks.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the draft, I guess we'll talk about the rest of the draft before we move on. Then they draft Oliver Bonks, 22nd overall defenseman. Listen, this was kind of a safer pick. There were probably better players, with higher ceilings on the board when they made the pick. But I think it's a safer pick. He's got a high floor, 2-way guy. Maybe you see him next year, maybe you'll see him the year after. Like he's not going to be able this season coming. It'll be either the following season or the season after that. Which that's the other thing. But back to Michkov, people saying 3 years is too long. It's like if they drafted anybody else in that spot, it would have been 2 years, and then then you would is the extra year really that much of a difference? Like,
right.
They pick Gauthier 2nd overall. We're gonna see or 5th overall, and we're gonna see him in his 3rd year.
Right.
That's what happens with prospects. That's why I don't think the weight's all that crazy. But yeah, I didn't mean to go backwards there. But now Bonka, safe pick. I don't hate it, don't love it. It's we'll see what happens.
But there are a couple people that weren't crazy about it because of who was on the board. The kid that went to the Rangers.
Who went to the Rangers?
Begins with a P. College player. Yeah.
Gabe Perreault. It was around there. I forget if he went to the Rangers or not, but that's a guy. That's a guy who I was looking at. Probably a little more of a. I don't know if project's the right word, but they probably would have a lower floor, higher ceiling, basically.
Right.
But then, listen, when you take a swing as big as Michkov, I have no problem with them trying to take the safer pick with 22 because you already made the big swing.
Yeah. So. No, I get it.
So, and then we can talk about the one thing that was interesting is they didn't have a 2nd round pick. They trade up. They traded a 2nd next year and like a late, like a 6th or 7th this year to move into the 2nd round this year to draft a goalie, which I thought was interesting. Carson Bjarnason, 51st overall. They took him. That was interesting to me because you're trading up to draft a goalie. I thought was a little strange. Now Bjarnason was the number 1 ranked North American goalie in this draft, so I guess if you're gonna do it, that's the guy. With a name like Bjarnason, he sounds like he.
He sounds like he's from
He sounds European. But I guess maybe was born here.
Like a Viking. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find where he's from. So he's from Manitoba.
Okay.
Played with the Brandon Wheat Kings. I don't know what his origin is, but that name sounds like Swedish to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's always good to have goalies in the system. But I guess if you're moving up for one, there is some hope there, I guess. That there's something there.
Yeah, and I mean I guess it makes sense you're trying to stock the goalies up a little bit, but but you have Carter Hart, and the weird thing is in the 3rd round they take another goalie, so back-to-back goalies now, right? They take
best player available, baby.
Igor Zavragin, I think is how you would say that, Russian goalie. So they go.
Watch him be from Florida.
Yeah, no, I don't think he is. I think he's actually from Russia. But I mean, listen, Russian goaltenders have been really successful over the last handful of years. So I guess if you're gonna go any country,
Yeah.
go Russia. So, who else did they take in this draft? I have the next couple written down. Denver Barkey in the 3rd round, kind of a smaller guy, but apparently apparently he's a really skillful player, but just kind of small. And
Yeah.
they took Mike Knubel's son, Cole Knubel, in the 4th round. So there you go. Feel old?
Yeah.
Mike Knubel's son got drafted. So did Radek Bonk, obviously. Oliver Bonk is Radek Bonk's son.
Right.
So couple of former Flyers sons get drafted. Listen, they just love keeping it in the family.
Love it.
They do.
They
love it.
stick to the bit, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess before we kind of move on, we could talk a little bit about the signings. They signed Garnet Hathaway. Who else am I missing? Mark Stahl. They signed today, and then there was one more. Oh, Ryan Poehling. I really like the Ryan Poehling signing. I think it was only 1 year. But
I know nothing about him.
What I remember about Ryan Poehling is he got drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, and when I think he's only 24 years old now, but his rookie season was, I think, 2019. But in the last game of the year before that, like 2018-ish, he had his NHL debut against the Toronto Maple Leafs and scored a hat trick in his NHL debut. And then the whole offseason, the Montreal Canadiens fans are losing their minds about this stud prospect. Scored a hat trick in his first game. And then I think he was dog shit his rookie year and really hasn't done much since. He's kind of like a 20-point guy. So it hasn't been anything special.
Was he like a 1st-round pick or something?
I think he was a high, either 1st or 2nd. Hold on, let me look this up. But I know he's with Pittsburgh.
He moved around a little bit
year.
too. Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought he was in Pittsburgh too.
He was.
At least that's the picture. When they signed him, he was wearing a Penguins jersey.
Yes, 24 years old. He was drafted in 2017, the 1st round, 25th overall.
Okay.
By Montreal. Let me see if I can find his rookie season. Yeah, so 2018-2019, he was his 1 game played, 3 goals. And then 2019-2020, he played 27 games in the NHL, 2 points.
Efficient.
Right. Spent most of the year in the AHL, 36 games, 13 points in the AHL, which isn't all that great. Then 2021, he spent the entire season in the AHL, but only played 28 games. Might have been hurt, I guess. And then the following season after that, 21-22, he spent 57 games in the NHL, 17 points. And then last year with the Penguins, 53 games, 14 points. So he's really has not put it together at all in the NHL. But listen, he's 24 years old, and it's a kind of a 1-year prove-it deal. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, on this team, he fits right now. So,
right.
I'll gladly take 14 points if it means we get the number 1 pick.
Exactly. And then they signed Garnet Hathaway to a 2-year deal, $4.75 million total. So that's roughly $2.4 million per year. And listen, I mean, we've kind of seen Garnet Hathaway play with the Caps for a little while. Where was he at last year? Hold on, pull him up here. He's with the Caps and the Bruins last year. Spent some time with Calgary. But we know him as the prick with the Washington Capitals. Like, that's just what he was. He's willing to fight. He hits everything that moves. He's just kind of a pest out there. I'm fine with it. Whatever. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's whatever move to me. They're just trying to find guys that are just gonna play hard, basically.
Yeah. Plug in guys.
Yep. And then Mark Stahl with a 1-year deal. I forget how much that was for. $2 million, something like that.
1.1, I thought.
Was that what it was? Okay, 1.1.
Think so.
Just a depth guy. Teach the young guys how to play hockey.
I'll play for 1.1 to suck.
Well, you're not Mark Stahl.
Yeah, but they're trying to suck. So
yeah, it's fair. That's fair. But listen, I mean, he's basically coming in as a mentor, though.
Yeah,
like he's gonna teach these young guys. I don't know if he's gonna play every night, and when the Flyers are out of it, they could always trade him at the deadline for something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a win-win. I mean, like you said, he's a mentor. If he doesn't play every night, he doesn't play every night. And if he's good enough to trade at the deadline, like
And
it's
it's an
not you're not
investment
gonna
at that
get
point.
much. Yeah, you're not gonna get much,
No,
but
I don't think so. I mean, a 5th or 6th round pick, something like that.
if that, yeah,
Yeah. So.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the Flyers offseason so far. But again, nothing else matters because they drafted Matvey Michkov. And listen, I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep screaming from the rooftops, Michkov mania. We went from Minshew mania, it is now Michkov mania.
It's 2 straight years where they have this exciting first pick. It's like I can't even wait till next year now. Can't wait till next draft.
Right, exactly. Now
Who else
listen,
can you get?
yeah, right. Now listen, next year's draft is not this year. Like this year's draft
Yeah,
was incredible with the top of the draft. So much talent. So I mean, we'll see what happens next year. Macklin Celebrini is a projected number 1 pick right now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
what's he play?
He's a forward, probably center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you so Michkov is a winger,
Right winger.
and do you think Cutter's going to be a center or a winger?
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
What's going on? I have something in the washer, and my washing machine's going fucking banana. Do you hear that?
Yeah. It's not like bad though.
It's loud as shit. I thought it was gonna like explode. Like, that's how loud it
Yeah.
is right now.
Just getting ready for takeoff.
Yeah, but no.
Can I just say something really quick? That's
Yeah, go
totally
ahead.
like off subject.
Okay, go ahead.
Why does Blake Snell look like Don from Drunk on Broad?
Why does Blake? You know what? I don't know. What is? I haven't really looked at Blake Snell all that.
I'm sorry, he was just on my TV screen because I'm getting ready to watch Angels Padres. That was scheduled to start at 9:00. It's 9:40 almost.
He doesn't look anything like Don.
You don't think so? I think he resembles him a little bit. Don's a way better looking
Maybe-
guy though.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a little bit, but like I don't know. I mean, you know what? If Rich says I look like Clark Duke, then sure, Don looks like Blake Snow.
Blake Snell looks like a Walmart version brand of like Don,
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. That's fair enough.
like a store brand.
Right.
All right, yeah. Back to the Flyers.
To answer your question, I don't know. I know he's played a decent amount of center in college. It remains to be seen. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I would love him. I would love for him to work out at center. I don't know if he will. I think he's more suited to be a winger, personally.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, they just need that big center. You know.
Yep.
It would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun if they suck this year and they get a top center in the draft next year, because now you just kind of plug those 3 guys in and you assume that all
Let me
3.
see what Macklin Celebrini is. So again, he's only like 17 years old, but he is 5'11", 181. Macklin Celebrini. So it's not incredibly big either.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah. What is he?
5'11", 181. Listen, we're pumped up. We're already looking at next year's draft. All right?
Yeah.
The pack is fully on.
Yeah.
And then there's Cole Iserman is in this draft too next year. He's supposed to be a good player, but he's a left wing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you
yeah,
just take the best player available. You don't.
Exactly. But
You could try Cutter at the center. You know.
yeah, no, you could always try and see if it works. 100%.
I think the center in hockey is just as maybe not important as a quarterback or a goalie, but it's up there.
Oh, totally. Because I mean, they do everything. They're responsible for 200 feet of the ice.
Right.
So, all right, we can move on. So obviously, I want to talk a little Phillies, but first off, let's kind of jump into the Sixers. So we're just fully committed to like building the 2015 Houston Rockets, aren't we? Go out and sign Pat Beverly because he was on those teams, right?
I don't know if it was 2015. It was
Not 15,
yeah. It's probably like
specifically.
2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they do? Like, what do they do? I mean, obviously we don't know what the status of James Harden. He opted in to his contract to the last year. But there's rumors that they're looking for a trade for him. But what happens with the Sixers?
You know what? I don't know because like like you said, he opts in, but he wants to be moved. Go ahead.
Also, sorry, Beverly played with the Houston Rockets from 2012 to 2017.
Okay, so he wasn't at like 2015.
Yeah.
I thought he was a little bit later. Yeah, I listen. I'm just as confused because I think they're so focused on like they keep telling you that like if Harden's here, he's gonna like they would love to rekindle. They would love to fix this. They just think everybody got in their feelings and they love him back and stuff like that. But like I just think they're so focused on this right now that they're like, do they let a couple bench pieces go and like they're just not like that's how you win like depth like in the NBA like and really in any sport. But like, man, I don't know, man. Like these guys that like. You know, they were interested in, or like should have been interested in, or should have gone for like signing elsewhere. So like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. I really don't.
Well,
yeah, obviously, like you said, they bring in Pat Bev, but like,
yeah, I think it was really tough for them to make any sort of big move because.
No, I'm not looking for big moves. Yeah,
their hands were tied with James Harden. I think they wanted to see where the James Harden thing went.
Yeah, but dude, you could offer somebody like $5 million to come play.
Who was out there? Who would
on the bench?
Who would you have liked to see?
Like, there were a couple names. Beasley. I gotta look who else. I mean, like honestly. Who I really liked, and he got starter money because he's a starter to stay in Sacramento. But like Harrison Barnes, I think would have really fit on this team if they were to move Tobias. Like it's just like bench pieces, man. Like all these bench pieces are just Seth Curry's moving. Like it's just I don't know. They're very quiet, very very quiet for a team that absolutely needs to like bring in depth. You know, who did let go? Who was the kid that they traded for the deadline?
McDaniels?
I forget his name. McDaniels, yeah. I would have liked him back.
Damn, look at me pour out Sixers names.
He signed. Yep. He signed elsewhere. So I don't know. It's very, very strange right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because and Niang went elsewhere, right? Shake Milton went elsewhere. Who else? Who else signed elsewhere? Is that it?
McDaniels, Niang, Milton, Shake Milton.
Shake Milton. Well, just those, right?
I think so.
Okay. And then you bring in Pat Bev. I mean, what did Beverly do last year?
I don't know. He's not an offensive guy, though. The reason they brought him in is because they really needed somebody else like PJ Tucker, who's tougher and like is going to hold guys accountable and kind of be like a voice more than anything. He plays defense, but like that's the thing is like this team in the past has brought in backup point guards that are defensive minded like him, and they need offense. Like they need offensive coming off the bench. So especially if they're going to get rid of Harden, like I don't know. It was definitely a strange signing for me. I don't love Pat Bev, but like I don't hate him either. So like. For what he does it well, but like I don't know how much it fits this team.
Right, 27 minutes a game, 6.2 points per game, 2.9 assists per game, about almost 4 rebounds per game.
Yeah, he's a defensive guy. How many steals and assists? Steals and blocks. Man, the blocks don't matter. How many steals?
0.9 per game.
That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. So he's a defensive-minded point guard that is going to help in the locker room and be tougher on the court. And they needed that part, but like, I don't know. I just think they really needed a backup point guard to score if Harden's going to leave.
Right.
So it's straight. It's very weird. I thought Harden was going to opt out, but the Sixers were going to give him like a 2-year deal and we were going to be stuck with him for 2 years. But I was very, very wrong at Thursday at 5:00 or 4:55 when he opted in. And
what's the deal with that? Like, why opt in if he seemingly wants to leave? Like if they're looking for a trade,
there has to be an agreement somewhere where it's send me to where these 5 teams or whatever it is, and I'll opt in for it. Because if he does opt in, I think he thinks he's. I'm probably not going to get a max contract going in the free agency. So if I opt in this year and they send me to the Clippers or the Knicks or whatever, name the team that I want to go to, they can then max me next year.
If he doesn't get that max in free agency, why would he get that max elsewhere?
Well, it's another year of playing. What do you mean?
Well, you're saying if he opts out and goes to free agency, he wouldn't get the max.
Well,
Why would
he
he get a
doesn't-
max next year?
So what I'm saying is so the Sixers weren't going to say here's the $210 million.
Because it's
He
insane.
said what?
Because it's insane.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying in his mind he's saying I could get a max deal. So the way basketball works is you get more money from the team that they're trying to keep players in the same spot, so you get more. Your team
It's worked real well. It's worked real well in the NBA.
It's helped free agency with the big players. Like Durant doesn't, aside from when he signed with the Nets, like Durant gets traded, Kyrie gets traded. Like these guys get traded, Beal gets traded. Like they get traded. They don't like LeBron and Durant. The only two guys I can think of that were like massive superstar, top 5, 10 players in the league that have signed free agents. Like when he went to Miami and then went to Cleveland, like LA. Like other than those,
Kawhi did it, didn't he? That wasn't a trade, was it?
he was traded to Toronto and then
After Toronto, yeah.
Yeah. So it only happens to a handful of guys. So aside from like the Tobias Harris's, those middle level guys that get overpaid, or like the guys that are just looking for a home for a year, like the rotation guys, like that's what free agency is about. But like the team that you're with can offer you the most money. Like he was able to, if the Sixers were able to say here's 4 years, $210 million, where another team could say in free agency here's 4 years, $180 million or $200 million, whatever it is. Like the Sixers could offer more because he's on the team. So he's thinking in his mind, if I opt in and I go play for $35 million or whatever it is, at the end of next season, I'm not going to be a free. I am going to be a free agent, but I'm going to be able to get a max, like a max.
Well, no,
not a super max, but a max that is bigger than.
I get it, but if the Sixers aren't willing to give him that deal, what makes him think the Clippers are going to give him that deal in a year? Like he's 1 year older at that point. So how old is he? 36 now?
33.
30. Is he? He's not. Is
34.
He really?
I think he's 34. Yeah,
he's been around for like fucking 30 years.
He was 2011, I think, I think it's 2011, and then they went to the finals in 2012. He was coming off the bench.
He's 33. Yeah, you're right.
And then 2013, 2013 or 14, he went to the Rockets.
So he'll be 34 next year. You think somebody's giving him a max contract at 34 years old?
I'm not saying I believe that. I'm saying he believes that.
Yeah. Well, he is an egotistical fuck. So.
Right. If the Sixers, what I think happened was the Sixers said, here's 2 years. Well, if you opt out, here's 2 years, $80 million or whatever it is. And he says to himself, oh shit, no, I want 4 years. And the Sixers say, absolutely not. Like we're not giving you 4 years, $210 million. So that's where things kind of got sour, in my opinion. All right, well, then trade me. I'll opt in. I'll be able to be happy at the end of the year if I get traded the Clippers or the Knicks or whoever, they offer me that max deal that I could get the most money. If I opt in and you guys are able to trade me, which is the best option for the Sixers. The Sixers lose him, and he opts out, then the Sixers are screwed. So it's better to have a trade piece to get value.
Sure. Yeah.
He's probably said, trade me where I want to go. Here are the 5 teams, and the Sixers said, okay, opt in, and we'll get value for you.
Do you think Nick Nurse has anything to do with this?
Yes.
I don't know what's.
I can't say yes. I wouldn't be shocked if Nick Nurse came in and said it's just not my vision.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know if it's the fact that Harden doesn't want to play for Nick Nurse because it sounded like he was a big Doc guy.
Right.
Whether he doesn't want to play for Nick Nurse or if Nick Nurse doesn't feel like he can coach Harden. It could be both. I don't know.
At the end of the day, Harden's a great player. Harden, he's an all-time scorer. He's one of the best scorers ever. He's a great regular season player. Different in the playoffs. Now, will Nick Nurse? Wow, that was a really big lightning.
Really?
Holy shit. Yeah, my whole fucking street just was blue.
Blue.
Yeah. So
supposed to be. I don't think lightning's supposed to be that color.
Well, yeah, like that bluish, whitish, like.
Oh, I see.
Thunder.
Hopefully, we don't have any power outages. That would suck.
Yeah. So
really suck.
I don't think Nick Nurse is sitting here saying, get rid of James Harden. I don't think James Harden is sitting here saying, I don't want to play for Nick Nurse. But I wouldn't be surprised if both parties were like, yeah. But I'll play for a year. I'll put up with it for a year. here's the thing too. I don't want Harden back necessarily. But if they were to bring him back, if they were to rekindle this, if they, the only silver lining is, all right, it's Nick Nurse. Like it's a different coach. Like it's a guy that's proven to win at every level that he's been at. Maybe something happens there, but you don't count on it.
Yeah, I was at the same time you're
You
running
don't.
it back with the entire roster.
Absolutely, but
You can argue minus some, like with the same
Sure.
roster minus some.
Sure, but it's that sense that this dude pulled together a Toronto team. Nobody knew who Fred VanVleet was before him. Nobody knew who Pascal Siakam was before him.
Yep.
No, Serge Ibaka was at the end of his career. He's not even playing anymore. He's 33. Nick Nurse really brings everything out of these guys. So where Doc Rivers is not that there were stories that came out the last couple of weeks that said Doc Rivers wasn't doing anything in the playoffs to make adjustments. He was just telling his players, yeah, go figure it out. Nick Nurse doesn't do that. So that's why it's all right, I don't really necessarily want Harden back, or I wish they would go in a different direction. But at least if he does, you have a guy now that might be able to get everything out of him, might be able to make those adjustments if Harden is out there. And what Doc Rivers in Game 7 took Harden out for 30 seconds and put him back out on the court. Nick Nurse, I think, has the balls to say no, you got to sit, or no, go out there and fucking do it. Do this, do that. We're Doc didn't have. So that's the only silver lining I have if they bring him back. I'm not counting on anything, but.
Yeah, that's why I'm really excited to see Maxey under Nurse. Because I think he has a chance to take that next step with a guy that can actually coach him. You know what I mean?
Sure.
he really hasn't had an X's and O's kind of coach in his career, right? He was here the entire time Doc was here, I believe, right? He hasn't had another coach, so
nope.
To see him with a different coach, I think is going to be big for Tyrese Maxey. Which I guess brings me to my next point. Obviously, your boy. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So. And I think Maxey is a coachable guy, very, very much so. And I think he's a guy that's going to thrive under any kind of coach.
Yep.
But you could also argue, could he go the other way, having an X and O's guy? Because Nick Nurse is not very much a player's coach. He's not buddy like Doc Rivers is. So you could make the argument he could go the other way too. You never know.
I don't think Maxey's that guy. I don't think so either. I think Maxey gives me the impression he wants to work his balls off to get better every day. I don't think he's gonna, pout and bitch about the coach being too hard on him. That's not the type of person that I see from Tyrese Maxey. But brings me to my next question. Your boy finally requested a trade. I know you're sick of his shenanigans.
Yes.
But if you had to trade Tyrese Maxey to get Dame Lillard, are you doing it?
Yes.
Okay.
The people that are saying they wouldn't are a little too close. A
little too emotional.
A little bit. Tyrese Maxey is a very good player. He's probably at the top of that second tier of players. He is in that boat with Tyler Hero. He is in that boat with guys like
Yeah, but can he? But he's young. Can he get to that? It's about projection. Do you think he would get into that top tier of players?
I don't know, because again, here's the thing with Lillard. Lillard has shown up in big playoff moments. Tyrese Maxey has yet to do that for me. These people that also too, I don't know, man. It's if in 3 years Embiid's done playing, or in 4 years Embiid's done playing, you have this guy Maxey with no fucking first round picks until 2045. We're just gonna be we're gonna be a little bit lesser of what the Portland Trailblazers are the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Just one really, really good player, one great player, and just losing in the first round every year.
Yep.
So that's these people that
they're
are
going to
saying,
be that. They're going to be that regardless when Embiid leaves.
Sure, no, absolutely. But I'd rather have Lillard and Embiid here to win championships. I don't know that Maxey and Embiid win a championship as the two guys more than I would think that Embiid and Lillard would. So listen, these people that are worried about 3 years from now, 4 years from now, about when Embiid's done and you don't have anybody, I don't give a shit about that. I want to win a championship now. Oh shit! Did you just see that?
I did. Yeah. Was that your lights flickered?
A lot of thunder and lightning. Yeah, they did.
Your lights flickered. Listen, we might have to cut this off at some point when your power goes out, because you'll lose internet. And we already know we already know the Xfinity around you is shit
I haven't
anyway.
had issues in 2 months. I haven't had issues in like 2 months. It's you and Chris, man.
Really?
You came on 30 seconds before we jumped on, so I don't
I did.
I don't want to
know.
brag, but
Yeah, no, you were ready to roll tonight.
yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't hit here yet. I haven't heard any thunder or anything here.
Yeah. It was just a big bang.
Good show.
But yeah, no, I don't care about 2 or 3 years or 4 years from now. Like, they're gonna suck anyway. So like,
Yep.
if you have to listen, I'm not saying go trade him. I think Maxey could be one of the best number 3s in the league. If you could get Dame Lillard without trading Maxey, you do it. But like,
Right, yeah,
I don't know if that's possible. And like, I would rather win one or two championships.
And to your argument, say in 4 or 5 years, Embiid decides to hang him up, right? His body just can't take it anymore. He's ready to kind of move on. They're gonna suck regardless, and at that point, Maxey is gonna be 5 years older. Where that's your trade piece to try to rebuild. You're gonna be trading him in 5 years anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and that probably makes sense if they could get him.
I've seen people on Twitter today saying like, what did Lillard do in the playoffs this year? What did Maxey do? He had one really good game against the Celtics. Like, again, and I love the kid, and I love what's in between his ears and what's on his shoulders, and I think he plays hard, and I think he works hard, and he's a good guy. Like, and he's got a lot of potential, but like, it's right now it's potential. And I know what Lillard is. Like, Lillard at the end of games in big situations, it's Dame time. Like you know what time it is. And like, the fact that he is a type of guy like a Jimmy Butler, like a Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant, where if it's Tuesday night and you're doing a back-to-back, a Tuesday, Wednesday, it's Tuesday night and I have the final shot and I take that shot and I miss, I'm going to be upset with it myself until I wake up the next day and I'm still going to take the last shot of the game on Wednesday night. Yeah. Like, there's not many of those guys in this league. So
no.
I think he's a generational talent. I think he's Hall of Famer. I think you got to, if you can, you have to do it. You have to do it.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I'm going to put you on the spot for one final thing with Sixers.
Yep.
If you had a crystal ball, right, you're seeing into the future, what is, on opening night, what's a starting 5 look like?
Oh, boy. Well, Tobias is here. I know that.
Okay. Yep.
Tucker's here. Embiid's here.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that about Tobias. I know that Embiid and Tucker. Well, because there are rumors that Tucker could be going with Harden. So, like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if like, I don't think the Harden thing is going to be like done next week. Like, I think this is going to really drag out a lot. Man.
I think Harden's on the opening night roster. I do.
I think there's a chance of that happening.
Yeah.
I also don't think it's crazy if Lillard's traded at the deadline next year. Like, I don't think that's crazy either.
Yeah.
I think deep down, I really do think it's going to be the same 5.
I agree with that. That's kind of where I was going with that. I think it pretty much could be the same 5.
But then there's also Levine too. Like there's talks about him.
But they don't want about him for like a few years now. I feel like people have kind of talked about him.
He's had a couple, like last year and the year before, or it might have been last year, 2 or 3 years ago. He was almost 30 points a game. 28, I think it was. But I'm a big Levine guy.
Stinks.
Well, it's not that they stink. It's
did you see the quote from Pat Beverly?
Yes.
I tweeted it out. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
About winning?
Pat Beverly. I told Chicago how to win last season. I'll do the same thing here with the 76ers. They stunk last year.
Well, here's the thing. They went like 14-9 when he came in. That's what he meant. Okay. He didn't mean I win championships. He meant I go in and I'm a locker room guy and I teach these young kids how to win every night. It's not win championships or anything. I think it was a little misquoted.
Barely over 500. And you're like 14-9. It's okay. It's nothing crazy.
Dude, they lost. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying he's the reason they went like 14-9. But they lost like 10 straight when they got him. So like he came in and like it kind of changed things. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the positive of him. Is like he's a good locker room guy. He's tough. He's gonna hold people accountable. And I think that's part of the reason why they brought him in. Like he's like a PJ Tucker, but I mean, he's not the difference in winning a championship. He's not Steve Kerr.
No.
Like Steve Kerr was a really good backup point guard, like
Yeah.
with the Bulls. So like, yeah, I'm really intrigued by Levine. I would trade Harden and Tobias for Levine. Honestly, I would trade them both,
Harden and Tobias for Levine.
and probably more, another guy or two from Chicago for the bench. But I'm all in on Levine. I'm all in on Lillard. I'm all in on anybody that can play basketball at this fucking point.
There you go. I agree with that. So last thing, let's move on to the Phillies a little bit. So you lose it tough. I mean, at this point in the season, you can't be losing series to Washington, I don't think. 2 unfortunate games. Then you had one game in there where you just blow them out, you go crazy. But listen, they have heading into the All-Star break. They have 2 really tough series.
Yes.
They start July 4th with the Rays, and then later in the week they play the Marlins.
We got an
hot
Eflin game,
Marlins.
right? I think
Is he? Hold on, let me check.
Eflin versus Nola, I think.
Eflin Nola tomorrow, July 4th.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of home runs in that game. So you get the fireworks ready. 4th of July fireworks. Lots of them tomorrow.
So we got Tampa and who else?
Marlins.
Okay.
The red hot Marlins.
They're gonna fall apart soon.
Well, you've been saying that for 2 months.
Yeah, but are they really built to play for 6 months? You know what I mean?
No, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd be this
I
good
think
at all.
they're
Like,
gonna fall apart.
I hope so.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they get in as a wild card team, but I just think the Phillies are better and they're gonna be better. It just sucks that like the Braves are far and above. Like they're not catching the Braves, but
No, they're 12.5 back of the Braves.
but
Like the Phillies had a fairly like good June and they
Yeah.
lost ground. on
Right.
the Braves.
that's what
Really,
I'm
the Marlins,
and the
too.
Marlins too. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's the part. It doesn't hurt that they lost on the Braves. The Braves are just that good, but it kind of hurts that they've had a great June and what did they win, like 20 something of 20, like it was like 20 something games to a single digit, like that, like how many losses
Yeah.
they've had this year.
Or the
in
Thunder
June.
the Thunder just hit my house. By
Yeah.
the way. I just heard it. So it's finally here. What's
Um,
doing over there? Still thunder lightning? All
Yeah,
the
I don't know if
jazz?
it's raining. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, go ahead. Cut you off.
no. So like losing ground to the Braves is inevitable. Was almost inevitable, but like you're losing ground to the Marlins, having a single digit loss record in the month of June. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
listen, the wild card race is going to be a very, very, very tight one.
Yeah.
I mean, right now the
Giants.
Marlins, Dodgers, and Giants have the 3 wild card spots currently. And then you have the Reds, who are a half game back, the Brewers, who are a half game back, and then the Phillies, who are 1.5
yeah.
games back. So that's 6 teams for 3 spots,
yeah,
basically.
the Reds and the Reds and the Brewers are going back and forth with the division.
Yep.
So
Right.
if the Reds wind up winning the division, the Brewers are
That's
then
true. And then you also have the Pirates, who are 6.5 back of the wild card. I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but they're gonna probably end up selling.
But like,
at the
I also
deadline.
don't want to be like the 7th seed again.
I agree. I think that's a failure, in my opinion.
Like I don't want to see the Braves again. I think what they
No.
did to them last year was an anomaly, and like they were just better in that series at that time. Do I think it's going to happen again? Probably not. Like I don't see that happening again. Do you?
And you can make an argument if they do get the last wild card spot and have to play the Braves, and they get like swept, like easy work. There's an argument to just fire
Everybody.
what's his name? Why am I drawing blank on the manager?
Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you just fire Thompson. Like at that point, he's gone to me. And honestly, you're probably not wrong. I might at that point fire the pitching coach and the hitting coach. I might fire both of them because like it's just the consistencies or the inconsistencies. Really, like I don't know. The pitching coach has been here for the last 3-4 years. Like when have we like been confident about our pitching? Like it seems like it's always a roller coaster. And same thing with the lineup. Like when have we been confident that this team's gonna rake night in night out? It's 10-0, 9-1. Like it's so fucking rocky road roller coaster type shit. So like yeah, I mean if they bounce in the first round and get swept in the first round, I would clean house at that point.
Yeah, I mean it's something definitely to discuss. I mean,
But we'll have that conversation.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of time between now and
Totally.
September, but I don't know. I just don't. I really don't want to go into September like 2 games back. Like I really don't.
Like
I
we did
want
last
to
year?
be in a position. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be in a position. I want the Phillies to
Earn
kind
it?
of not even earn it, but like if they're gonna blow it, they blow it. Like I don't want to have to waste. I don't want to have to worry about other teams losing.
That's what happened last year with the Brewers.
Right.
If the Brewers just play like 500 baseball the last 10 games, the Brewers get in over the Phillies.
Yeah.
They were dreadful last year.
I know.
Dreadful.
So I just like that's what I'm saying. Like if they're the top wild card seed, like they just have to win games. Like that's all they have to do. I just want them to worry about themselves and not have to worry about themselves and other teams losing.
Right.
Because they're not going to win the division. So like
no, throw that out. But honestly, there's only really 3.5, 4 games separating them and the Marlins.
right.
And I mean, and
the Marlins
are
the one,
top-
right?
Right. Yeah. So
The
there's only,
wild card.
yep. So there's really only like 3 or 4 games separating the 6th wild card team from the 1st. So yeah, it's a lot of teams right there. So a lot of stuff to happen. And then I mean maybe you come after the All-Star break and start playing better baseball, but
It's going to be an interesting next couple weeks with the deadline coming up at the end of the month.
yep.
What they address, what they don't address. Because I think I saw on the show a couple weeks ago, like Dombrowski came out and said like it's a lot harder now than ever to trade because so many teams are just out of that with that extra wild card spot now. So many teams are so close to being that one of those last seeds, and seeing what the Phillies did last year, like these teams are now saying, why can't that be us?
Why can't it be us? Exactly. Yep. 100%.
It's going to be a little bit tougher, and I really want to see him get creative.
Yeah. I'm
I
curious.
want to see a little. Maybe he should sit down with Howie and Danny B.
Yeah. Exactly.
How do I get creative?
Yep. Danny B, show me your balls. Let me see them. I gotta see how big they are.
Pull him out.
Pull them out. I gotta inspect them. I gotta know how to get my balls that big.
We get Danny B's balls and Howie's mathematics and let's get weird.
Right, and then we won't even call Daryl Morey. He won't be invited.
No, he'll just ask for Houston Rocket players to come in.
Yeah. Is there any Houston Astros players we could get? Let's
Yeah. Well, those I would take.
That's true. I would take Houston Astros player. Are we worried about Bryce Harper at all? Like specifically his power.
Nah.
He's been getting on base and he's been hitting singles here and that. Like his power is gone.
I mean that was like that's kind of what we expected, right? Like we were gonna see a dip in power a little bit.
Yeah. Will he get the power back though? Will he get the power back?
Well, yes, eventually he will.
Okay. All right.
But it was just something I was telling you the other day. Like, it's sometimes it's like when he hit that foul ball yesterday, just foul of being a home run. It's like basketball. Sometimes when you're struggling, you get a foul, you get to the foul line, you get to the free throw line, and you just have to see one go in for
Just
it to
need one to fall.
yeah. And if he could just get one, like just clear the wall, like the first row, maybe that gets him going a little bit. Because this game, and that's the thing, this is definitely a game of not so much ability, but like it's a mind fuck. Like it really is. Like it's such a grind every day that like if it's not working out, because he is absolutely saying to himself, "What am I doing wrong? Why can't I hit homers?" He's probably beating himself up more than anybody else. So like it just takes one.
It's never been a problem for him in his entire life. Would you consider moving him down in the order at all? Take a little pressure off him?
I would actually move him up, I think.
Move him up. What's he now? 3, 4?
He's 4th now. I think I would hit him 2nd or 3rd because he's getting on base. It's not so much.
I agree.
I just don't know if I put him in that 4 hole. Not that a 4 hole, and he is very much like the power
It used to be the cleanup power hitter. It's really not that anymore.
Right. So like, but I would rather him hit a single, and I would probably hit him second, honestly.
Okay. Who's won?
I guess you have to keep Schwarber because you're winning, but I guess maybe move Turner to 3 and Castellanos to 4. But like,
dude, I'm here for the Castellanos revenge tour. He's been fucking great.
Yeah,
he's been great.
All-star.
This is the guy we wanted last year.
Yep, this is who he is. This is 2 years ago is not who he was, and last year was not who he was. He was somewhere in between.
Well, how do these numbers that he's doing this year rival 2 years ago? Like, I don't think they're that far off.
Well, he's not going to hit 34 homers and 100 RBIs.
No. Well, how many does he have? No, I don't think he's going to hit those numbers, probably.
What's he got, 12 or 10 homers?
Hold on. Let me look it up. He has... Where the fuck did it go? He has 12 home runs.
Yeah. Like 2 years ago, he had 34 and 100. Like, he's not going to do that again.
Right.
He hit, what, 312, 313 2 years ago? Or a little over 300, 307, something like that?
309.
309?
He's in 316 this year.
He is. No, the average is up. The average is right around there, but that's it.
He also has 54 RBIs, which by this point he's on pace for 100 RBIs.
Right. I'm just saying he's not going to hit 34 homers and
no.
No. But as I'm saying, he's somewhere in the middle of he's closer to the 34 and 100 guy than he is to the 15 and what was he last year? 15 and 70?
Last year 13
and 70?
62.
Okay. So he's a lot closer to 34 and 100, but he's not quite that either.
No, he's not quite what he was 2 years ago, but it's not that far off. Like
he's closer. I was gonna say he's closer to that than he was what he was last year. But
no, he's been great.
He's a guy that hits the ball over the field.
And listen, if anybody's
a lot of doubles,
right, and if there's anybody that's, I don't think there's anybody more happy about his success than Trey Turner.
Yeah,
because
how many doubles does he have? Is he pulling in on 30? Yeah,
26.
Yeah, I thought he was pulling in on 30.
Yeah, 26.
He was up there in the league and in the NL for.
He had 27 doubles all of last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. There really isn't much else Phillies wise. I know Ranger's your boy. He obviously had one. He had a NOLA inning last game.
Yeah,
other than that, he was fine. I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, you need the offense to come around in those games.
Absolutely.
Is what it is. And you know what I'm tired of with this team is because it happens so often. You need a big hit in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning with a runner on, and it constantly happens where this team just grounds into double plays, just left and right, just hitting into double plays.
The other day, I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was one of the games last week. I think against the Cubs. Man on second, no outs, two straight innings, and didn't get him in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the game we went to at the tailgate. I'm pretty sure didn't they ground a double play in the 7th, 8th, and 9th?
Maybe I don't remember.
Or it was one game around there where it was literally 7th, 8th, 9th ground a double play 3 innings in a row. It's brutal.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just guys getting all of 2 outs or no outs, and they don't advance. It's it's not winning baseball. So
nope. But lots of time to figure it out. So hopefully they do. I mean, listen, as up and down as the season's been so far, again they're only a game and a half out.
Yep.
So there's light at the end of the tunnel hopefully, and we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Anything else to talk about before we get out of here?
Well, I don't know how much people are gonna be interested in this, but we have I think 12 participants for our Phired Up Fantasy Football League. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be talking about it every week.
Do we have 12? Who are the 12?
Yep. It is so as of we're at 11, and the 12th is I'm waiting to hear from.
Okay.
So it's us 3, me, you, Chris.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get a list out. It's Kylie. Me and Kylie are going to with each other.
Okay, good, because I don't want that responsibility on me at all.
Yeah, Don and Rich
Okay.
and Joe.
Oh, the three of
Raw.
them. The three amigos. Okay.
Then we got Billy, who's one of our writers.
Okay.
We have Jen
Okay. Bell Smash.
and Isaac.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So it's 1, 2, 3. I have Rich on here twice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
We're not a math pod.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then Jason. Jason, we're waiting to hear back from Jason from Drunk on Broad.
Okay, nice. That's one guy you're waiting to hear back. That's 11
Yep.
now.
There's somebody that I'm missing then. Unless I have 11.
So we need one more.
Maybe. I don't know. I got to figure it out.
Did you ask
but
Mark? Did Mark want to do it?
he never answered.
Never answered. Okay.
If we have 11 and we have a 12th, I gotta make sure he at least knows about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, fine.
He's in the Slack chat, so I'm sure he saw it. I know Eric is looking to get out of fantasy.
Eric said he's good. He said thanks, but no thanks.
Yes.
Ask one of the Love and Pain guys. See if they want to do it.
Okay. I mean, we could go 14 if we really wanted to.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. Why not?
Let's get weird, right?
Exactly. We could ask those guys, and then it's something to talk about all season long.
Right.
Throwing Fired Up fantasy league.
Oh, Joe is the 12th. I didn't have him on this list.
Oh,
so me, you, Chris, Kylie, Jen, Don, Rich, Billy, Isaac, Joe, and Jason.
And maybe Jason's the 11th.
Yeah.
So we still.
That's still 11. Yeah. I don't know. I thought I counted 12, but it's not.
Again, we're not a math pod. All right. Well, listen, we can get out of here. Check. Also, if anybody out there is interested in our reaction to the first round of the Flyers, me, Don, and Mark were on we're live streaming the first round. It was really fun. Hopefully, I would love to do it for all the drafts. I don't really know much about the NBA draft, but if somebody else wants to host it, we can figure that out. But I will do that for the NFL draft when it comes. We plan to do it again next year for the NHL draft. So a lot of fun. Check that out on our YouTube channel. A lot of good times over there. So
for sure,
check it out. And we're gonna get out of here. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Phired Up Sports. Listen to us on Apple and Spotify. Listen, leave a 5-star review. It'll help us out. I don't know what it does, but it's supposed to help us out.
I haven't done this in a while, but tell your mother, your father, your brother, your cousin, your dog, whoever.
Yeah, your pet hamster, whatever. Yep. Yeah. Tell whoever you need.
Your imaginary friend. Yeah.
Right. Because listen, if all 7 listeners that we have tell one person about it, that's 14.
Yeah.
And listen, if those people tell, then that's it'll just keep growing.
Did you see that one viral video of one of the podcasts from Barstool? She said if you save $1, she was dead serious. If you save $1 a day every day for the rest of the year, you'll have $30,000.
You know what? I did see that. Where's the math? The math ain't mathing at that.
Nah, it sure is not. I think what you have to do is on the first day you save $1, and the second day you save
double
$2.
it. Yeah, you double it.
I still don't know if you get 30,000. I don't know if you get 30,000, but
you probably get there quick. I would think
maybe.
But if you save $1 every day, you have $365.
Listen, it was not it was $365 they didn't have last year.
True. But yeah, I have to do the math. You save $1, then $2, then $4, then $8, and just keep kind of doubling it.
She said $1 a day will get you $30,000 next year. The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing, exactly. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here, and we will see everybody next Monday. See you then.